welcome back to my channel, Just the Introvert. My name is Jessica, and I am here to talk to you about all things introverted related. I'm fresh here on YouTube, and so I have two videos up right now. If you would like to take a look at them, please check them out. But for this video, I'm going to talk about my trip to DC. I just got back from DC a couple of weeks ago for my MBA orientation week. So that was me spending time in DC, learning about Howard University resources and everything that they have to offer. And I'm just going to talk about my experience. It was overwhelming, but in a good way, week. So I didn't have all of the time to do a full vlog video like I said in my previous video, but I still did take some clips and some videos and things. So I do want to show you some things that I did do throughout the whole entire week. So it was a week-long orientation, Monday through Friday. I stayed at a hotel there. I didn't stay on campus. I stayed in a hotel that was in proximity of DC, proximity of Howard University. So it was about 15 minutes away from the campus. So I stayed at the Royal Sonesta. They have two locations in the DC area, and I do have a video of kind of what it looked like in there. It was a king size bedroom. It was really nice, hardwood floors, nice clean bathroom. It's actually recently built in 2023, so it's fairly new and very clean because of that. So I did like that. I also like that there was a French restaurant there. I don't remember the exact name of it, but it was a French restaurant, and I did partake in eating there. Don't have a picture of that, but I did have like salmon and a salad, so I thought that was really good. The only downside I will say with that hotel was that it was not in proximity of different restaurants and stores. So if you were looking to take advantage of going to different places that were in walking distance, that hotel was not within walking distance of anything. It was actually nearby, I believe, a train station. So in that sense, it didn't give you the ability, and it didn't give me the ability to venture out and look at different attractions and things that were there. And I overall didn't have as much time as I thought, and I will talk about that throughout the video. But yeah, my first day there, I just settled in, got in the hotel, and prepared for the next day. Most of the days were from 8 a.m. Till 5 p.m. Some days started at 9. It really depended. But they did keep us for a very long time each day. It was 11 hours. And that was because the last 2 hours were set aside for us to meet with our case team. So the last day of the orientation week, we had an opportunity to be in a case competition where we were able to present our findings and solutions on the case that they gave us. So that was something that we practiced for each day of the week after we spent our whole entire like 8 hours learning about Howard University, learning about what resources that are available to us. The first day was an icebreaker activity, so we learned about each other. It was kind of like a bingo game where you kind of go from person to person and you see which person matches this. So if they like public speaking, or if they like this career, it was just a way to kind of like get to know each other. And I have done bingo games like that, so it was fun, and it was a little overwhelming, I would say, the first day, just because it was a lot of people that I was introduced to and saw, because it was about 100 of us. So the whole school of business was there, not just MBA students. So I am an online MBA candidate, and there were in-person MBA candidates, and there were also Masters of Finance and Master of Accounting students as well. So it was a large group of students, and it was a large group that were from different areas across the United States. So there were people from California, there were people from Texas, there were people from New York, there were people from Illinois, and where I'm from, and there were also just people in so many different areas, and there were multiple people in the same area. So that was kind of cool to know that there were people in my area that I can connect with outside of the orientation. So it was a good group of like 5 or 6 people that were in a same area. And so that was refreshing to know. But throughout the week, we kind of just learned different resources. Howard does have a dress code. If you're familiar, if you're a Howard alum, or if you're interested in Howard, it's good information to know that they do have a dress code. And so throughout the week, we had to dress, a certain way. And one of the statements that stuck out to me during the time that I was there when they were doing different presentations, because it involved different presentations from different departments, from the School of Business, from different departments such as financial aid, career services. One of the things that stood out for me from our program manager, he stated that it's not who you know or what you know, but who knows you. So it's important that you have a good impression, because that impression sets a lasting impression for people. So first impressions are everything, which is what I'm learning, especially as an introvert, to kind of have a more of a better lasting impression, because a lot of times as an introvert, sometimes there's negative stereotypes with that, and you want to make sure that you present yourself in a way that is positive, and you can have overall lasting impression on someone that first meets you for the first time. So we also had alumni panels there as well, and we also were able to get information from those alumni panels of people who experience being in the MBA program, the resources, what they got out of it, what they're currently doing now, what they currently want to do in the future. And it was really refreshing to see someone that was in our shoes and now can kind of speak to us and give us some feedback, resources, and information, and kind of just pick their brain at the same time, because we had the opportunity to ask them questions. A couple of the students, the alumni, did do presentations. So one of the things that they did give us some gifts. So the first thing, when we checked in, they gave us a little little book, and I kind of want to show it here. So basically it was just a little book here, and it's got like a notebook inside with a pen, kind of to start off for the check-in. So I thought that was really nice of them to give us that. So that was really good. And then there was an alumni there that I said wrote a book, and he talked about his book as well. So they did give us this book. They gave it to us in a bag, and basically I'm going to read this book, but it's basically Skyscraper, a proven method to build your dream career. So this was a really nice thing for them to give us a book and have the opportunity to read that and just learn from an alumni. So I really appreciated all of that. During the week, they did feed us breakfast and lunch, and dinner was on our own. So most of the time, I would probably spend like dinner at the hotel. It was difficult trying to navigate through, because again, the hotel that I was at was not a good hotel to stay if you were just wanting to walk within walking distance. I have been to DC before, so if you were to go to DC, I recommend staying at the Darcy Hotel. That was one of the hotels I did stay at before on a work conference, and everything was in walking distance, from grocery store to CVS pharmacy to different little restaurants down the area. So I would recommend staying there, or another hotel within that area. But I chose that hotel because they did have a list of hotels that were in close proximity that had like a guaranteed rate. So that's why I chose that. But if I had to go back, I probably would stay at a different hotel. And after that, they did have 2 times where they did feed us outside of campus, and I thought that was really a good experience, because the first one was the pinning ceremony. So the pinning ceremony is basically a rite of passage and like a welcoming into the family, the Howard family. And they do this for undergraduate students as well. They do a pinning ceremony, and they took us to a restaurant called Maggiano's Italy. They have them across some states, and we kind of had like a sit down dinner, and we ate. They actually took 2 buses, and I'll actually show a video of that. They had 2 buses take us to Maggiano's Italy from Howard campus to Maggiano's, and at that time we just were able to sit down, eat, drink wine, whatever we wanted to do. They had different food, pasta, salmon, all of that. So it was really good to experience. I was very happy with that. And each person, each group, I should say, because again, it was online MBA, in-person MBA, and Masters of Financing, Masters of Accounting. We all lined up in different sections and came up and got pinned. And that was a very exciting experience, because I never experienced a pinning ceremony of that magnitude, of just being able to say I am part of the Howard University family. And we do have certain times where we do have to wear the pin, so I like that was nice to know when you wear the pin. And I just overall enjoyed that little piece. I do wish that family was there to partake in it. That was the only unfortunate thing, because they didn't allow for us. They did allow for us to have guests, but based on our schedule, it would be hard for our guests to kind of take part in experiencing what we were experiencing, because they weren't able to be involved in that. So that, I think, would have been nice, because I do believe the undergrad students have the ability to have their family there with them. So that would be good. But other than that, they did take us to the second restaurant out, which was, I believe that Thursday was like the next day. It was Fogo de Chao, and it was a lunch and learn. So we learned about supply change management, and they just talked about how supply chain management works, things that you could do with your career in supply chain management, because with the MBA program, students have the ability to have a concentration, and so supply chain management is one of the concentrations you can concentrate in. I currently don't have a concentration. I was interested in supply chain management, but I'm still exploring what concentrations I want to concentrate in. And Fogo de Chao was really good. It was like an all you can eat everything with dessert, and I was really, again, happy with Fogo de Chao, because I know that it's good to have an experience. You spent your whole week in the orientation, and so I really appreciated them doing that for us. I did the case competition on Friday, so it was about, I think, 12 groups on that Friday that had the case competition, and our group went in front of 2 judges. So it was about 5 or 6 of us each group. And we just basically presented our solution. The solution was on attracting African American consumers to the Jeep brand. So we had to come up with a solution for that. There was like several pages of a case study that gave us information about Jeep, their brand, their goals, and everything like that. And so we used that information and had to create a PowerPoint presentation on that. So our team didn't make it to the next round. There was a next final round, and that final round was the opportunity to win scholarship money, which was really, really good, and also the opportunity to be at the Black MBA conference in Texas. So that really motivated a lot of us in our team to really put our best foot forward in doing well for the presentation. I overall enjoyed it. I think our team did really well with the amount of time that we had and having to put something together. So I really appreciated just having that opportunity to connect with people in that setting, in that space, and just hope to connect more with everyone in that cohort group, because it is a lot of us, and I really appreciated experiencing that. And some of the highlights, I would say, was the introduction into Howard. That was like a highlight because we got to know like the do's and don'ts, the ins and outs of what to do, what not to do with Howard. And I definitely love that statement. It's not who you know or what you know, but who knows you. And that was really something that stood out with me, because a lot of times the statements is always like it's who you know, in order to network with people, but it is who knows you, because when somebody knows you, they know who you are, they know how you are, and they could be talking to somebody else about you, and it could be negative or positive, and you want it to be a positive thing with that person that does know you. And so after that case competition, we had the opportunity to take professional headshots, and I did take a professional headshot. And after that, it was an opportunity for us to look at the case competitions, the finalists who did make it to the next round, which was good because it helped us to know what we need to learn from for those of us that didn't make it to the next round. And I flew back because I had wanted to save my money, because it was a lot, spending money that each and every night. And I have 2 dogs, so I know they were missing me. And so that is pretty much my vlogging. I do have some of the outfits that I did wear because it was business casual. Some days it was HU casual is what they say. The first 2 days, which was like you could just wear like a school gear t-shirt with like some pants, and then business casual, then business professional. So those were the different looks and everything. And I overall, I really enjoyed it. I liked getting all of the resources that were given to me on what I needed to do moving forward and how to prepare for Howard. I learned don't mess with Howard Financial Aid. That was one of the things that they made for sure to make sure with that, because there, have been issues with their financial aid. But every school, every university is not perfect, and they have their way in which they do things. And so experiencing how Howard does anything is just the same as experiencing another university doing it their way. So I did appreciate learning about that, learning about them. Didn't partake in having to explore the campus. That was the only thing I didn't have, weren't able to do a campus tour. So when I go back, I'll have to do a campus tour and experience all of that. But I really enjoyed it. I think it was fun, and we learned a lot. It was a lot of information compacted into that whole entire week. And I think for me, the most memorable thing that I loved is just being able to meet different people. I think that was, for me as an introvert, knowing I'm trying to get out of my comfort zone and do different things, is meeting all the people that I met. And then now just trying to stay connected with them throughout the school year, and also partaking in the activities and events that are happening on campus. Because with me being an online student, I don't just want to um, do online work and just do online. Like, I want to be able to go out and go to the different events and have that opportunity, because that's how I can make the most out of my experience. So because of that, I will take some recap videos as well as experiences, vlogs, in my next videos. Hopefully I can do a full vlog and have that time to really record and show you detail by detail my experience being on campus. But that is something that I'll be able to look forward to in the future, as well as showing you some productivity tools, because now that I'm in school and I'm doing multiple things at the same time, I have to stay on top of my schedule and what I'm doing, and making sure things don't overlap, making sure I'm attending everything. So I will show you some productivity tools and hacks in terms of how to keep up with um, keep on track and everything, and kind of make your life easier, because I do use ChatGPT and have got into Gemini. So I definitely want to tell you how you can utilize that and make your life a little bit more easier, especially if you're in school. But if it's just every day-to-day life, I can definitely show you how you can utilize that into your life. But thank you for watching, and bye-bye.